Kiva.org is. If you want to stop listening now, just go home, click on Kiva.org, and check it out. Because Kiva is really great, and what it does is it allows you to use social media for social change. What is Kiva? Kiva is a crowdsourced funding microfinance investment vehicle. That is a lot of words, and I will hopefully walk you through a very brief description of what Kiva actually is and what it actually does, and how we use social media and how you can participate to make social change happen right here in the Philippines and around the world. So, microfinance. What is it? Does anyone know what microfinance is? No? Basically, if you can remember one thing about microfinance, it is access. If you think about tonight, about the home that you go to, sitting here right here, you have access to air conditioning. You have access to a great food. You have access to electricity. You have access to a computer. You're all bloggers. You're literate. You have access to a world information of knowledge. Most of the world that lives under the poverty line does not have this access. They do not have access to clean running water. They do not have access to the same food you do. They do not have internet access. What microfinance does is it allows us, with small increments of money, to help people gain access to the life that they want and to the things that they need. Traditional microfinance comes in the form of NGOs or small rural banks, and most of these organizations are financed with larger banks and grants, and this is often expensive. Kiva is awesome because they actually give money to microfinance organizations with 0% interest. So it is cheaper, you get more money, and it's catalytic for change. It also is incredible because it connects individuals. You can go onto Kiva.org and actually make a loan to another individual. You can have one individual giving a small amount of capital to another individual to help change their lives. The Kiva website, you can go on and search for people. Local MFIs will list entrepreneurs, people like me and you, who just do not have access to capital. They do not have the same access to education, and they want to make small incremental increases so that their children can have education and that they can have a better life for themselves. You can find entrepreneurs online, you see their pictures, you see their stories, you see how much the loan is, and you can, with a group of other people, actually send money to an entrepreneur for their business. How does Kiva work? You, the internet lender, go to an online marketplace. This is where the crowdsourced funding comes in, and you can search for an entrepreneur whose story you like. Maybe someone comes from the same region that your grandparents came from. Maybe you like to sew, so you're going to loan to someone who sews. Then you give the money online through the local microfinance institution. They distribute that money to an entrepreneur. The entrepreneur is able to put that small amount of money into their business and then make more money. With that money, they can send their children to school, put a roof over their heads, maybe get internet access, and read some of your blogs. Then the entrepreneur will also pay back these loans. Some people think, oh, poor people, they're lazy, they're stupid, they're not going to pay back loans. Absolutely untrue. They pay back loans. We have a 98% repayment rate, and all these people want to do is work hard, the same as me and you. And the coolest thing about Kiva is not only is money going both ways, but information is going both ways. This is a great chance to see how social media works, because people who may not understand what life is like can learn more about what life is like for a rural entrepreneur. Why Kiva works. It isn't just because of the money, it is because of the connected capital. Connected capital, first and foremost, is patient. If you have hundreds and hundreds of people giving $25 to an entrepreneur, they aren't doing it for the return investments. You aren't putting your money in stocks, you're not trying to get rich. What you want to do is you're trying to help people live a better life. And so that's why connected capital is first and foremost patient. And that's why Kiva works. Kiva also is modeled after social media. not only do we use social media to grow our lending base and to increase the amount of money that is lent, but we also model it after a Facebook model. Quite often when we're trying to explain what Kiva is to the people who borrow from us, we explain to them it's like Facebook. If you want to make a loan, you get to make your own profile, you can have your name, your picture, you can invite your friends, you can have lending teams, and you can all work together to loan to entrepreneurs. The Kiva lending teams allow us to grow our communities even further. We allow the group mentality of having a community online to match communities offline. We have a lending team in New York City that is extremely, extremely dedicated, and they'll have events and parties and competitions to see who can raise the most money to fund loans for their specific borrowers. And when that happens, you can see that a local person, like this gentleman here from the Philippines, is able to get enough money to have his tricycle business funded. And once you make a loan, you can share it on Facebook. We use Facebook, Twitter, blogs to connect to our audiences and to get people excited about these stories. This gentleman, he's very nice. He has a grandson. I've met him. He wants to have a tricycle business and make money for his family. His wife is currently an OFW, and he is excited that she can see him online, but he's really sad that she's far away. He would love to have her back home. And that is why he's got a loan out, so that he can make a better life for himself and bring his family back together. Kiva works in over 59 countries on 5 different continents. And again, this is how we reach out with social media. Kiva could never exist without the internet. What we're doing is we have people lending from the Philippines to borrowers in the United States. Poor people in the United States are getting loans from people all around the world, and people from the Ukraine, from Mali, are giving loans to other people around the world. We're creating the connections, and through these connections, we are able to have people help themselves. 8 of our microfinance partners are right here in the Philippines. And you can actually go on kiva.org and search for these microfinance partners and search for people in the Philippines to give a loan to. Kiva has only existed. We're coming up for 5 years. We're coming up on our 6th birthday this October. Again, part of the reason that we've spread so quickly is because of social media and the impact of the internet. We were on Oprah, and after that we have people tweeting about us. We have people saying, hey everyone, look on Facebook, I just made a new loan. We recently had a campaign where through sharing their friends, we just got 8,000 new lenders, which is really important to us because the more people who are willing to lend, the more people who are willing to help. We have over 130,000 people who follow us on Facebook and over 400,000 people who follow on Twitter. And we have 2 different blogs, which is creating more than enough content to read during the workday, and over 25,000 unique hits each month on both of those blogs. And that is one of the reasons why we have growth that looks like this. So, I challenge you, come ask me questions, come ask me why access is important about microfinance, and I challenge you to go on to Kiva and also create a lending team for yourself. Get your friends involved, see why this is important, and see someone who's from your community who you can lend to today. Thank you.